The date of this video is June 2012, and the authorities have recently taken down several of the largest and most abusive firms in this industry. These firms have been harming consumers for years, and I'm pleased to report that they are out of business. Unfortunately, there are still plenty of scammers out there. I'm going to explain some simple things that you can do in order to avoid the con artists. No matter what you do, you absolutely must make sure that you don't hire a scammer. If you choose carelessly, you could be out a significant fee and have little or nothing to show for it. You could even wind up worse off than you would have been had you just handled it yourself. An easy thing that anyone can and should do is to run a Better Business Bureau check on any firm that you consider. If they've been in business at least 5 or 6 years and have a B or higher reliability rating with the BBB, it does not necessarily mean that they will do a great job. The BBB really doesn't have any way of evaluating quality of tax resolution representation. However, if they have a B or higher rating and they've been in business for 5 or 6 years, the chances of getting ripped off will be much, much lower. You can also enter the company's name into an internet search engine. There are blogs and various websites where people comment on or evaluate tax resolution companies. I caution you not to pay too much attention to some of this information. Some of it is not legitimate or it's completely unsubstantiated. However, if you see a company with similar complaints that keep coming up over and over again, you should either proceed with caution or just steer clear. I might add that there is another Fortress Financial Services in a different state who is not a tax resolution firm and who is completely unrelated to my Fortress Financial Services. If you search my company and come across a company with the same name who does not do tax resolution work, you've got the wrong Fortress. You also need to be aware of too good to be true. If someone tells you something that just sounds too good to be true, proceed with caution. You can either ask them to prove that what they are saying is true, or you can contact some other tax resolution firms with strong BBB ratings and see if they tell you something different. If they don't confirm the too good to be true, then there's a pretty good chance that the too good to be true is in fact too good to be true. Finally, you need to proceed with caution if someone quotes you a fee that is much lower than other quotes you have received. I suppose you might get lucky and find decent work on the cheap, but if it looks too cheap, you should be very concerned about a potential bait and switch. There are firms out there who will lure you in with a very attractive sounding fee only to squeeze more money out of you later or drop you completely before getting any results. I wouldn't discourage you from checking out a few references of any company whom you might be considering. However, I don't think it makes much sense to put a whole lot of emphasis on references. Any company that has done any volume of business in this industry should be able to find some happy clients to put on its reference list. References are just a handful of people who were happy. They say nothing about the potentially hundreds or even thousands of clients who were not. And there's one more thing that you should do to protect yourself from scammers. Read the contract carefully. Different firms use very different contracts. Make sure that you understand all of the contract before you sign it. If the contract is overly confusing, that might be a bad sign. If you don't understand the specifics of the contract, ask questions until you understand. If you ask questions and are given answers that don't make sense, I would suggest that you shop elsewhere.